I think it's important to understand that for several years now, what we've been seeing is a slowly unfolding uh, disaster for the Syrian people. And this is not a situation in which we've been uh, simply bystanders to what's been happening. The only way to bring stability and peace to Syria is going to be for Assad to step down and to move forward on a political transition. Even separate from the chemical weapons issue, what's happening in Syria is a blemish on the international community generally, and we've got to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect the Syrian people. In that context, what I've also said is that the use of chemical weapons would be a game changer. What we now have is evidence that chemical weapons have been used inside of Syria, but we don't know how they were used, when they were used, who used them. We don't have a chain of custody that establishes what exactly happened. I've got to make sure I've got the facts. That's what the American people would expect. And if we end up rushing to judgment without hard, effective evidence, then we can find ourselves in a position where we can't mobilize the international community to support what we do. We've got to do everything we can to investigate and establish with some certainty what exactly has happened in Syria, what is happening in Syria. We will use all the assets and resources that we have at our disposal. We'll work with the neighboring countries to see whether we can establish a clear baseline of facts. And we've also called on the United Nations to investigate.
The Syrian government has always emphasized that it will not use, if it possesses, any chemical weapons against its own people. The Syrian government is still willing to receive the investigation team